Ah. Ah. Okie dokie, let's get into it. Now, we had just finished Chapter 4, which unlocks the ability to see all the crap you missed. So, I'm going back through it to get all the crap I missed. I'm hoping one of these optional bosses has my appendix, or maybe my tonsils. Gallbladder, maybe. Something optional. And let the record show, this is also my first time streaming the PS2 with component output, so I'm hoping that it looks a little better. It certainly looks better on my end, although it's a bit bittersweet knowing that it now looks better on my HD TV than on the fancy Sony Trinitron I have in the game room. There's not really a reason to keep my PS2 plugged into the CRT anymore. I don't know. I need to look into it more. See if there's something I'm missing. It looks, there's almost like a canvas feel. It doesn't have that interlaced look that you know from the PS2. When I'm rich and famous, maybe I'll just have a couple PS2s hooked up to a couple different TVs. But for now, at least the stream looks a little better, I hope. Okay, what am I doing? Who's the bad guy? Now, Hyakimaru's combos have quietly been getting more elaborate as I've gone through the game. I now have a 7-hit bread and butter here. It just keeps going. Actually, I think it's only 6. But in the menu it says 7. Still something I haven't quite figured out. You go 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. Oh, 8. Well, shows what I know. Whoa. So I think I need to just get out of this area. This was a cool chapter. It felt significantly different than the other ones. There was more urgency. You were like on a battlefield, and then you stormed a castle and fought some 9-tailed foxes and such. I don't know if I think they had varying numbers of tails, but they all had more than one.
Sword arms have leveled up.
Just like Tails, Miles Prower, who, as mentioned earlier, is a character very similar to Dororo in function. How do I get out of here? Oh, wait, do I want to go due south? Let me just see what's to the north. Bah! Okay, here we go. The gleaming red beacons on the map, on the mini-map, those are the remaining fiends holding on to parts of my body. Stolen at birth. I think I see 7 Pains in the chat there. How you doing? Let me know how it looks and sounds. This is a new setup. I'm using component out now, so it should look a little better. Or at least a little different.
Sword arms have leveled up.
So it took me a while to realize this, but I don't think your swords level up with use, only your sword arms. So it becomes more important to find good loot because you're stuck, the swords are stuck at the level you find them at, I think. Hey! Janoba, how are you? Yeah, I'm trying to get a little fancy. But I'm open to feedback because I kind of don't know what I'm doing. I thought that my composite, I felt like the only way was up with composite, you know. Even on my, I have a pretty nice CRT. It's one of the flat screen ones. It's a Trinitron, and it's like 30 something inch. It was a free find on Craigslist, but it was a good score. But even on that, the composite output just looked terrible, and I couldn't tell if that's just how it is, or if it's because my PS2s are running through a switch box, and maybe the switch box was messing with the signal or something, or if I just had bad cables. But I think the component looks nicer. Yeah, I finished a little early on Friday. I was just feeling worn out. I think I might have to amend my streaming schedule. I'm still feeling it out, you know. But I think this is looking better so far. I'm afraid to mess around with like RGB. It just seems like every time I look into it, I feel like I get lost in all the information. And I feel like trying to figure out how to both get it connected to my TV and get it connected to my capture card are like separate issues. Whereas component is relatively straightforward. Of course, this still leaves my Saturn like that's a remaining issue, and I really want to stream more Saturn stuff, but all I have is composite and S-video for that, and I don't have a way to capture S-video. For the component cable, I'm using HD Retrovision, and then after I bought it, I realized that I probably could have just used the official Sony one, but I don't have that anyway, so. But I have 2 PS2s because they're different regions, so I might go Sony official for the second one. What's up, Ghost Ribbon? Okay. Ah, how do you like that? This is that Symphony of the Night DNA I was talking about on Twitter. Yeah, I think this looks way crisper. The thing is, eventually, well, I don't know what I want to do now. I think eventually I'm gonna need to get a component switch box, because I'm gonna have the original Xbox and 2 PS2s all feeding component. And this is actually component to HDMI via an adapter that I bought. It's a powered adapter. So I need to feed the Xbox and 2 PS2s into that adapter. And I think the way to do it is going to be with a component switch box. So I'm going to need basically a buttload of component cords. Not a buttload, but I need one more for the other PS2, and then I need I guess a female to male component. Some of your jokes are better than others, Ghost Ribbon. I think that one needs to be workshopped. I mean, DNC is sitting right on the table. Not to get political. Blood Will Tell is not a good game to evaluate the benefits. Why do you say that? Because it's so gray? Oh my god. I mean, these bosses look great, I think. Yeah. Alright, a couple more zaps. Oh god. Oh, that was a cool finisher. Yeah, you're right. The background is pretty drab throughout the game, I've realized. But yeah, like, I took a look back to back this afternoon to see what the difference was, and it was quite stark. But I wasn't sure at first if I liked it better, because it did seem like there's like some intentional blurring of colors that occurs on the CRT with the composite, and this is just so crisp that it kind of made it seem less vibrant. But you're right, it's already not a very vibrant game. But then I turned up the color. There's like a color setting on the Trinitron, and it immediately improved it like, 1,000%. So I was like, okay, I'm sold. Ooh, first chakra. And the only other thing was that the text became harder to read on the CRT, and I was having Dead Rising flashbacks. It's like, oh man. I guess this is really meant for HDTV, because my Trinitron has the component input, but yeah, I couldn't read. This is cool that you get to revisit the stages, because if you remember, you spend most of your first time through a lot of these places separated. So like you're running through, I think this area you're running through is Dororo the first time, so you're like basically defenseless, and you also can't chop down trees. So you have to revisit to get some of these fiends. They say you can't really judge music you heard plus and minus 10 years of your first chakra. I don't follow. I want to. I really do. A game like, I don't know, Radiata Stories would really benefit from the component. Is that, I don't remember that one. Is that kind of in the Disgaea style? It's like 2D strategy. I feel like I'm wrong. How do I get through this area again? Look, see, like the map often doesn't. amply communicate like how you get around. Like, it doesn't account for all these obstructions. Obstructions. It's a PS2 action RPG. Is that because it's like vibrant colors or just a lot of detail? I'm trying to think of games I have. I've been itching to revisit Valkyrie Profile 2, which I never finished after excitedly buying in 2006. But that was that fall of 2006 where they released like just banger after banger. It was like Marvel Ultimate Alliance, and then Mortal Kombat Armageddon, and then Okami and God Hand, and I didn't have a GameCube or Wii, but Twilight Princess was around that time too, and I was playing it with my friend at his place. So I think I just ran out of bandwidth. The 80-hour RPG had to go. Actually, I don't remember if Valkyrie Profile 2 is long. I don't think they had the time limit like the first game. Like Dragon Quest VIII. Yeah, you know, there's a whole bunch of... Like, I was never really an RPG guy. Although sometimes I get the itch. Especially now, like, to go back and revisit. Like, I've never played any Dragon Quest, and I'm kind of curious now what all the hubbub is. Of course, now everything on the PS2 is super expensive, so I may have missed the boat. I really want to check out Dark Cloud 2. Especially after hearing that it's got some Mega Man Legends influence. Oh, DQ8's on 3DS. Yeah, that was like totally off my radar. And next thing I knew, they were up to 8. I think we had Dragon Warrior when I was a kid, but it was just completely over my head. When I must have been like 5 or 6. Oh yeah, new combo. It's cool that they keep extending the combo throughout the game.
I can save.
Oh yeah, I forgot it's on PS4. I guess that's probably the better route.
The game here.
What about Steambot? I guess Steambot Chronicles probably isn't the most colorful game if it's a steampunk game, but that's also high on my list of games I've always wanted to check out. That also came out that fall of '06. That was a fun time to play PS2 games. Steambot Chronicles? 8 and 11 are the DQ games to play, huh? The Dairy Queen games. Alright. Ah, holy crap. Ah, someone got some fancy moves. Yeah, Steambot Chronicles, known as something something Bumpy Trot in Japan. I want to go for a Bumpy Trot. Could sure use a thing of rice right about now. Okay, I'm like halfway through the game and I still don't know what these green balls do. Thank you. I keep meaning to look it up, but it's a low priority any given day of the week. I thought at some point it might be cool to do a playthrough of Gungrave Overdose, which is the same team that made this. And it's another one that I started and didn't finish, but I really liked it. It's got the electric guitar guy. I think did we talk about this last time? Oh no, I was talking to another viewer. But yeah, those Gungrave games are fun. Really simple, but like it's just like good high spectacle action. Tail Concerto. That's the one that's about Chopin, isn't it? We like Chopin in this household. We might have to check that out. I appear to have looped. Well, I guess I should just go where these other guys are. Oh, that's Eternal Sonata. What's Tail Concerto? Wolf. Ah. Well, dead is dead. God. Damn. Never seen them do that before. Guess it's because when I was coming through here as Dororo, I was hauling ass. Oh my god. I think I was better at that when I was younger. Yeah, the skeleton totally interrupted. Yeah, they can interrupt that QTE sequence. Which I guess is fair, since you can basically just hit an enemy endlessly. Steambot Chronicles with anthropomorphic cats and dogs? Alright, I'm sold. Whoa! Did she just hit me with that? Toro, this is not a game. You see what happens? Ah! See what happens, Dororo, when you spurn your own? Whew.
Away with you.
Oh, it's a PS1 game. Okay. That sound okay. Now that sounds a little familiar. I definitely know the name. They also did Thousand Arms, didn't they? Or I think that's this same team, Red Entertainment. But I think that's sort of maybe in the same style-ish. Wait, is it Thousand Arms? I'm mixing up all these sort of cute action RPGs. Or I guess very cute. And this is also the team that did the Sakura Wars games, including the one the one I ordered that's currently lost in the mail because the USPS is being destroyed. It was nice while it lasted. It's a good 240-year run.
I can save the...
Sakura Wars is a series I'm interested in because robots. You know, I'm betting that the new one is a pretty good entry point.
Game here.
I haven't played it, but I imagine they're banking on a lot of people having not played the other ones. I'm not sure any of them came out outside Japan. Some of them definitely did not. Boost disc only copy going for 130. Oy. Yeah, I think, well, so my understanding with Sakura Wars is that it's sort of, yeah, it's like a hybrid. It's like a genre hybrid. I don't know if it's more on the, like what the ratio is. But yeah, I'm sure HG 101 has the facts. I like that site. And I've not really, I'm not been much of a strategy guy, and I'm definitely not a dating sim guy, but I just, I want to explore what's out there, both on the Saturn and with Sega in general. Just as my interest in the company has deepened, and I've kind of become more open to other genres as I get older and my reflexes get worse. Plus, okay, so I played through Yakuza 4 a few years ago, and I was sort of bracing myself for all the Hostess Club stuff to be really cringy and embarrassing to play in front of my wife. But we ended up getting really into it and designing the ladies' hair and stuff and their makeup. And I was like, oh man, this is it's not really as exploitative as I imagined. It's just kind of I don't know, suggesting hairstyles to ladies. I'm like, yeah, I guess I could get behind that. Tail Concerto was the first game by CyberConnect. Man, they've had a pretty charmed career. They did. I didn't know about them until Asuro's Wrath, and then we worked with them a little. But then, yeah, I didn't realize that they're like the favored licensed anime game maker. They made they made Silent Bomber? Alright, now I'm totally sold. Well, I'm not sold on $130, but I would like to check it out. I love Silent Bomber. That's definitely going to be on the Lacquerware channel at some point. I got Silent Bomber and Misadventures of Tron Bonne one year for my birthday. That was like the best 1-2 combo. It's the best day of my life. Yeah, you can grab Silent Bomber for cheap on Japanese PSN. I have a Japanese disc that was even cheaper when I lived there. It was like $2 or something. Yeah, Silent Bomber is super underrated. It's great. Creative action game. It's fun to play. It's got really satisfying mechanics, and there's like a ton of features. You remember there was a whole like PvP mode where you could play as any enemy in the game if you like unlocked their data chip or something. It was like, there was like a collection mechanic and like a robust PvP mode with like dozens of playable enemies. What am I trying to do here exactly? Oh yeah, I think I want to go south. Ugh. This thing peeing off the side of the... Oh, he's puking. This section isn't great, but it's also not quite as terrible as I expected it to be. It's like right down the middle. Tolerable. Shit. Silent Bomber is what Bomberman could have been at some point. Yeah. It's the gritty Bomberman reboot we deserved. The problem with this area is that the map doesn't help you at all, really. Doesn't like indicate your path forward. Ah, Sola Torobo. Sola Torobo. I've heard of that. I forgot that was a sequel. What am I doing? I know that ultimately I need to go this way. Hence, so wait. I'll leave that to her. You tell him, Dororo. So I've also been playing Neo 2, playing through with a friend. Let me tell you, that series is quite nice. They've got a fan in me. But I promised my friend I wouldn't progress without him, so it's gonna be slow going. That's okay though. I've got a few other games I could play. Okay. How am I meant to do this? Maybe from there? Okay. No. Camera is not made for this. And yet here we are. $140 on eBay. Man, these are evil days. Guess I might as well kill everyone here. Rogue furries driving steampunk robots. They were ahead of their time. Man, I wonder if like Misadventures of Tron Bonne has appreciated or depreciated in value since coming out on PSN. Not that I'm looking to sell, but just curious. There's gotta be a fiend hidden in this giant screen somewhere, right? But I guess it would give me some kind of hint. Actually, I don't know. Sometimes it doesn't. Here we go. That game was always on the high. Yeah, well, Tron Bonne was like, yeah, that was going for hundreds when there weren't that many games going for hundreds. Like, I know it was a low print run and very It sold very poorly. I think it was like less than 30,000 units sold. Can't imagine why. It's a lovely game. Boom! Lay it on me. Oh, there's more. Retro games never decrease in value because of digital distribution. Collectors don't want to play games. Yeah, that's the thing. That's why I'm not really that kind of a collector. There's like a little of that in me, but like my tolerance for like just like super high priced used games is very low, you know. Like I think I said before, I'm not usually willing to pay more than I would have paid at retail. It feels like a healthy cutoff to me. Somebody quell this beast. Oh wow, he's not all that. What? My shot's doing nothing. Oh man, he's like only. You have to hit him in the head. Jeez. That's like okay. Ugh, not great. Ah, this guy. I think it's the horns. No, Doro. Alright. It's all you. Oh. Alright. Hallelujah. Yeah, I had 3 life bars, so I'm good to go here. This guy's tough though.
My sword arms have leveled up.
What's up, Rosavi? Okay, so for our Brazilian members of the chat, Blanca or Laura? Hey, ribs. Those are going to be... all those organs I got are going to look great in there. Raises endurance. That rings true. Sweet. Speaking of finding ribs, that too feels like a little nod to Castlevania. I mean, obviously the premise for this came from an old comic, but like, I feel like so much of this feels like it comes straight out of Castlevania. Like collecting the body parts of Dracula. And the way they like they give you this drip feed of upgrades that range from like new weapons and like pretty substantial stuff to like fourth wall breaking, you know, like UI stuff. Like, oh, now you can see how many enemies you've killed because you got your cerebellum or whatever. It's not the cerebellum, it's some other part of the brain. Are all the power-ups organs helping you? Like, can you noticeably feel the difference? Well, I mean, it's basically like incremental stat boosts, right? So you don't necessarily feel it because it is like this drip feed where you're just getting stronger over time. But like then you revisit the old levels and you're just mopping the floor with everyone. So it's like Castlevania, you know, you revisit early parts of the castle and realize that you're like way OP. But also there are the more substantial upgrades, like my combos have been getting longer with both the blade arms and with my swords. And then, you know, like some of the cosmetic ones are still substantial, like being able to see in color. That's the first one, and that's a big one. I think it's the first. It might not be the first, but it's early on. Okay, so I think I still have 2. Have I just done a big loop? I think there's still 2 fiends hiding out there. The announcement of Brazil hosting the Olympics started a grassroots movement demanding Blanco as the official mascot. No way. Whoa. Man, I don't remember hearing about that. That would have been... But I guess it didn't happen? It used to be... I used to hear, and I don't know if it was just speculation, but I think I used to hear that there was like some annoyance that like for some reason Brazil's character was a weird monster and everyone else just got people. But I don't know how like widespread that was. I mean, I think he was a pretty popular character. My brother always used him. Yeah, it did. That is a sensible character to use as a mascot. Can't imagine Capcom would have objected to mass exposure like they've never seen. That was right around when I quit, 2016. Oh man, look at her run. Okay, this is that other fiend area. Hold on. I'm pulling up the guide so I'm not wandering aimlessly. Okay, here's what we got. Got the 3-tailed fox, where you get the lymph nodes. It's a storyline fight, so I got that. Then there's the beast fiend, gives you the cerebral neocortex. I don't think I got that. Wait, let me check my brain. Where's my brain? I don't even know what an endocrine system is. Is that part of your nervous system? All the brain stuff? Yeah, so it's probably this. So, okay, it says Southtown. I don't know why, that sounds so modern to me. I'm in Northtown, I need to go Southtown. Okay, so that's one, and then there's a six-tailed fox. That's a story one, I think. I think all the foxes are probably story. Yeah, that's where I got my pancreas. And then there's a scripted dude and another scripted dude. A nice-tailed fox. I think they might mean 9. That's where I got my heart. It's a done deal. And then there's apparently you fight death. It's another Castlevania tie. For your thyroid gland. You'd think they'd give him a cooler body part, you know? He's death. And that's, let's see, where's that? Southtown again. I need to get to Southtown. No good decisions taken about the Olympics. No, that's a bummer. It was a big botched event. I don't remember hearing about it. Yeah, I think you have the right to complain about your monster, but still love him. He's like family.
Save the game here.
Alright, let's see if I can get back to Southtown. The Hill of the Wall. So, okay. Dordo, come along, Bort. Okay, yeah, now I remember. I went north to check it out, and it led to stuff, so I forgot that there was a southern route. Yeah, doesn't it sound like it sounds like Southtown, San Francisco? The Cow Palace? Whoa. Oh, what's up, Dan Rather? I didn't see that was you. Southtown Arcade was named after the town in KOF. Oh. I was wondering about that. Man, I feel like I discovered that place just in time for them to shut down. Did they ever reopen? Drag.
I can
Okay.
save the game
Daigo's Army Headquarters. Speaking of FGC stuff,
here.
they say the name Daigo like 700 times in this. It's funny because when we were playing Lost Planet, they kept saying Yuri. You know, it's like, man, I got so many great sound bites, and now it's happening again. Like, and not only Daigo, it's Lord Daigo. Speaking of which, they just dropped a bunch of Daigoat merch today. It's only going to be available for like the next week. So if you've always wanted a Daigoat t-shirt, coffee mug, or hoodie, now's your chance. It's you can check out the. He retweeted it. Bah. You know, it's been a while since I've done one of my crazy QTE combos. I could use some stuff. Shut up. You went there for the first time on the last day it operated? Oh man, what a drag. I was so excited to find that place, and then yeah, it was just like a matter of like a few months, I think. There was also an arcade in downtown San Mateo, and there was a game store, and they all shut down within like the same year, I think. Daigo, you think of the guy in Rival Schools? Hey, I wonder if that's gonna make a comeback, since they're adding what's her face to Street Fighter. Brazilians are not particularly fond of Laura, but do not hate Laura. She's just kind of there. I think that's how a lot of people feel about Laura. I thought she was cool. In the original launch lineup, I thought she was, like, by far the most interesting. I think that was the first character that I tried to play the game as. I haven't played in months, but when I do play, I use Zeku. I was so glad that they made him. Because I was a guy player in 4. I mean, I'm terrible at these games, so it barely matters, but like, I loved Guy. And then I was like, yeah, there's not a chance in hell they're putting him in 5. But Zeku is even better. And he's viable, like, Infectious uses him, and like, he was on fire last year. Dagger was even using him a little bit as his, like, pocket character. And, of course, Big Bird. Is it Big Bird? Angry Bird. There's 2 birds, one of them uses Zeku. I can never remember which bird was the Zeku player. It's Angry Bird, isn't it? And then Big Bird is like Karen, I think. Most Brazilians, I know, don't like the fact that she has electric powers. Like, Blanca's a monster, so that's one thing, but why does Laura have electric? Yeah, there was like, they tacked on something about, for some reason, Brazilians have electricity powers, and then they were like, okay, well, let's just say she's like creating static electricity by running her hands through her hair. But it's like pretty dubious. I don't know. You know, they don't think these things through very carefully. They just kind of, I mean, I think that's like the strength and the weakness of Street Fighter, is that they kind of just trust their gut and like do what they feel like, and then like worry about explaining it later. And that's something that like Western game development can't get away with anymore, but that was what made Japanese games like so beloved and quirky back in their heyday. Like, even Symphony of the Night is like full of weird shit that is like completely like incongruous with the world, you know, like random humor injected into the game. So it's kind of funny that they just like tack on these explanations. Yeah, Angry Bird played Ken and then he switched, I think, to Zeku. Laura perpetuating the stereotype of Brazilians mastering electricity. Yeah, exactly. Okay, what I can't figure out is what they want me to do here. Oh yeah, you know what? I got this magic girl.
Gotcha.
You smell anything?
Gotcha.
It's supposed to be right here. Dororo, don't embarrass me. This is live. How can I scale this row house? No. And I will say something here in the most respectful way I can. Laura's default costume is fine, I guess. That's it. It's more tasteful than it started, I'll say that. Doro, you gotta, like, give me something.
Gotcha.
Standing on a giant blood red beacon. You got nothing? What am I paying you for? And consult the guide. Okay, wait. Is this... Okay, this is the bridge. It says the place where the entrance to the lower Black Dragon Bridge is, where the left save point. Instead go right. There should be a path that leads into the village. Continue. A statue that emits a purple spectrum. No, it's not that one. Southtown, Black Dragon Bridge. When you are almost at the exit of the bridge, there should be around 5 spear launchers there. At your left part of the wall, there should be a wide wooden door between the walls. Break it and enter. A little unclear. Yeah, this house looks like a face. Not an incredible fan of the art style that V has most of the time. The quality of character models seems to vary wildly. Yeah, it's a little too. Everything's a little too bulgy. It's a very bulgy game. Some of the characters feel a little boring to me. I think Colleen and Falk and like Ed, they all kind of blur together. I like Zeku though. I mean, not just the way he plays, but I think I like his design. It's got like this 70s movie star look. It's like a silver fox / ninja. Like 4 and 5 Ryu looks so jacked, but I love how MVC 3 Ryu looks. Huh. Interesting. I can only picture SF4 Ryu for some reason. Ah! just gonna explore this whole bridge a bit and see if I see anything obvious. Laura is often dressed as a sex worker. There's no other way to say it. Yeah, well, so it was almost worse. I think they've shown this in some of their art books, including the one I translated, so I think it's okay to say, but like the pants used to be assless, and some of the guys in Capcom Brazil gave them the stern but valuable advice that that's not a good idea. And so they added the black, like, two-tone thing. I mean, you know, they always try to inject a bunch of sex appeal, and they just, like, I don't think they think about the why or how. They just, like, it's just a box they check. It's like, it's gotta have sex appeal. And then sometimes people tell them to scale it back, and sometimes they don't. I think more and more, like, especially with 5, I think they got a lot more of that kind of feedback of like, okay, this is kind of insensitive, or like, we got to be careful here. You know, this is our first Middle Eastern character, and this is a culture that, like, you got to be very sensitive to a lot of perspectives that we're not used to trying to cater to specifically, so we should probably have a consultant, you know? All things considered, I think it came out safer than we'd feared, I think. But yeah, it's not gonna win any awards for progressiveness. I mean, that's essentially what fan service means, right? So there's like, okay, wait. They said this 4, 5. Okay, is this it? Yeah, that's it. How did I miss that? Ha! It's Lord Daigo's beast. Oh man, that was so cinematic. Flipping out of the way of those bombs. Kinda like this guy, like a bombardier. This is a pretty fun fight. Whoa. Whoa. Crap. Oof. There we go. So you're not a prude and not personally offended by Laura, but some of your girlfriends, which are gamers, didn't like Laura at all. They say there's already a perception of Brazilian women around the world, and Laura doesn't help at all. Yeah, I think that's what they were worried about. And yeah, I mean, in general, I think Street Fighter has a problem with stereotypes. I mean, that's it's weird because it's like born out of that same thing as like Mike Tyson's Punch Out, where it was like it wasn't meant to be like a secret that they were doing stereotypes at the start. But I think in the 2010s and now 2020s, it lands a little differently than it did in the 80s and the early 90s. Governs thought and reason. This part of the brain boosts cerebral neocortex. That's like most of the brain. Cool. Well, we're almost at the halfway point. But yeah, Idom, he surprised everyone with his win with Laura. That was cool. It gave her a little boost. That was cool. I got to go to Capcom Cup last year, and it's always cool when someone who's sort of the underdog takes it. I don't think anyone had their money on Idom, and he rocked it. Also, Punk has become such a a heel of the Street Fighter scene, you know what I mean? Like, at first I thought it was Tokido, and which kind of started in my mind with Tokido versus Punk at Evo. But now it's like, I don't know, Punk, he's got that attitude problem, but he's so good. He's so good at the game, and he's like, he kind of plays the line where he's like, he's got the attitude problem, but he kind of keeps it in check. And now it's like he got a slap on the wrist from Capcom Pro Tour, but he gave his video response where he basically was just like, all right, that I'm glad, because Losers is my home, and I've always wanted to like come up from Losers, and like it's just making him more like cocky and confident. So I mean, and like it's one of those things where like it's like, yeah, that was pretty unsportsmanlike, but it's gonna be so exciting if you take Capcom Cup this year. It's always cool when Pug loses. I was rooting for him when he was in the top 8 of that one Capcom Cup, and now he's like a guy you love to hit. Yeah, exactly. I was totally rooting for him when he was against Tokido at that one Evo. What was that, 2016? No, it must have been 2017 where Tokido won. I still don't know what the deal is here. This is for death. Death has my thyroid.
I'm bored.
Okay, it's a Battalion A area. That's where I am. Where at your left is a save point, and instead go right. There should be a path that leads into the village. Continue to the end to find a statue that emits a purple spectrum. Destroy it. And return all the way back. Okay, hold on. Path into the village. So go right. They don't mean this, do they? Isn't this where it came from? Hold up. It's like just around the corner here. Yeah, I can't. Tokido's awesome. He's so dedicated and like takes it really seriously. I think for a while I thought that he was like trying too hard to like be a character, but like I guess that's not a bad thing. It just felt a little like contrived, whereas like Punk just is that way, I think. But Tokido is like, I have the tape measure, and I have like the jogging in place thing, and I have the murder face. You know, it was like all little behaviors that were like scripted in some way. But like, whatever. He's an awesome, like he walks the walk, so like there's no harm in having some fun. Thing about Punk is I've yet to see someone saying something positive, see him saying something positive about someone. He's not very forthcoming with praise. I wouldn't say he never says anything positive about people. I think that he's just like yeah, not super forthcoming with praise. So he did his you know the Kemono Michi event that Daigo does? It's like his own homegrown event. Cause they did a 1st to 10. It's 1st to 10 sets with like handpicked rivals. And Daigo had him go up against Infectious. Now, I don't think anyone thinks of them as rivals. In fact, part of it was that Daigo realized he's never seen them fight each other. And I'm not sure they ever had. And he was like, these two guys have completely opposite play styles. Which is also true. And so he pitted them against each other. And I think maybe Punk said something good about Infectious at some point during that event, because Infectious like smoked him. I almost got the sense that Punk wasn't really like that invested, which is kind of shitty, but it could also just be not true, you know? Okay, that's this. Okay, interesting. Did we come all the way out here?
Away with you.
He is always trash talking everyone. A backhanded compliment at best, I'm sure. Yeah. Yeah, I suppose that's what I mean. Yeah, most of the time he doesn't quite cross that line into toxic. I think like when he's heated after losing, like, and he thinks that it's a lag issue, because that came out of him. There was like one other time. When was that? Was that Capcom Cup? There was like one other time that he immediately, no, it wasn't Capcom Cup. I forget what it was, but he like immediately went on Twitter and like was like swearing a lot about the like input lag or something. And I was like, man, isn't there some like cardinal rule that you're not supposed to blame it on the tech? But what do I know? Whoa, this guy is like a skateboarding demigod. This is their... Whoa, I like that cool sigil thing, but how is this death? Whoa, did you see those iframes? They're giving me life in the face of death. Poor Dororo is just getting steamrolled. Ah. Eat lead, death. Oh shit. That thing looks so good. It's these like special effects where this game comes alive. Cornered. Ow. You can't win this. We got 2 life bars. He's he's a skating death fiend. Whoa. Okay, he is getting more wily. Dororo, can you do something about this? Can you perform a Dororo kick? Stop him in his tracks. Crap. She's actually doing pretty good damage. I'm not sure sword arms are working for this. Whoa. Alright, I think I got him downloaded here. This is like a bullfight now.
I'm done for. Sorry.
Not too bad. Thyroid gland creates hormones and adjusts other organs' functions. I'm gonna start feeling real funny. I don't know. I usually give Punk a pass because I'm absolutely sure he gets a lot of shit online all the time. Yeah, also true. So what does metabolism do? You know, I was gonna look that up. While this is saving, I'm gonna go grab the manual and look this up once and for all. Okay, this manual, black and white, medium thickness. Oh, so when you collect 100 of those little green things, you get the medicine that revives you when you die. It's like an extra life bar. So those are definitely worth grabbing. Okay, so what are we looking for? Metabolism? Metabolism. Okay, improves Hyakimaru's ability to heal. More healed per rice ball. Okay, that's what I thought. But there's also regeneration. Increased recovery level for Hyaki. Quicker recovery. Oh, quicker recovery when knocked down and ability to stock more of the medicine. And you have endurance, which is your defense level. It's the damage you take when you get hit. Your attack, which is strength of arm, blade, or sword. Speed is your agility, faster attacks, and increased combo options. So that's why my combos are increasing. I'm getting speed up. And then stability, consistency, and Hyaki's overall performance. What does that mean? That's very cryptic. Luck, probability of earning valuable items. It's also clear now.
Tahomaru is my little brother, which means Kagemitsu Daigo is my father. The very man who is trying to conquer this country is my father?
You've been acting weird since we left the wall. Something happened with you and Tahomaru?
Quiet. Do I really have what it takes to go through with this journey? There's no guarantee that I'll even be able to beat all the 48 fiends.
And weren't you supposed to meet that Daigo guy too? Hyaki?
I said shut up! Will Dororo stick with me the entire way, even though demons are after me everywhere I go?
Huh?
So if you missed my explanation earlier, metabolism makes it so you heal, you get more health back when you eat rice. Like health items do more.
What do you want, Sabarota?
Oh, I missed the whole... I wasn't tuned into the FGC when Filipino Champ was particularly relevant. I missed all the toxicity. I didn't know about that.
This is Hyakimaru. He stands in the way of Lord Daigo's plans for unification and peace. Don't let him escape alive.
Yes, sir. Yes, sir. Yes, sir.
Yes, yes. That's the best sword combo, I think. Actually, this one's pretty useful sometimes too, because it does mega damage. Whoa! Easy now. Let's talk about this. Halfway there. You know, progression in this is kind of like the Astro Boy game too, where you like, that had something too, where you're like, upgrading your different stats. I don't think it was, I don't remember how it worked. It's like you could upgrade your heart and your brain or something like that based on like meeting people. Every time you meet someone, you can upgrade. and then you have to backtrack and like find all the people you missed. Well, at some point I'll stream it.
First demons.
But I
now
think
my
there was
own
something
father.
similar about like
Is there anyone who doesn't
progression
want me dead?
game in gameplay terms being linked to becoming more human.
Hey, Dororo. I think it's about time we went our separate ways.
What?
This is the end of the road. I travel alone from here on.
Yucky!
You've got your own life to live. Now go.
Upgrade your punch,
I said
beam,
go.
jets, etc.
You could at least give me a going away present or something.
What? You want a sword?
Man, Yucky's being kind of a d-bag.
Grab one off any of those soldiers.
Yucky!
Just take a sword and get out of here.
He just got those thyroid glands, and now his hormones are
You
going
know what?
crazy.
I don't care. I was getting sick and tired of you anyway.
Take care, Dororo. Damn demons. You want me? What are you waiting for? Come get me!
Oh, Filipino champ was banned this year? I don't remember that. I mean, I'm only kind of in the loop. I think it's up. Okay. Yeah, I think that was my big brother. Wait, this was the end of the manga. You're saying what we just saw was how the manga ended? You mentioned earlier that they canceled it before he got all his body parts. So is this the definitive Dororo work? Because there's no way they cover it all in the live action movie. I guess the animated series is probably going to be the definitive work. Oh wow. That's so sad. Did he at least get his thyroid glands back? Bruh. Die, Muppets. Man, starting to feel like Dynasty Warriors. Yeah, who am I kidding? It already did. Wow. Oh man, I don't have any bullets. Whoa! Into the blender.
Sword arms have leveled up.
A little bit different in the manga. Spoiler alert, the scene plays a little bit different. Ah, interesting. Yeah, one day I'd like to read it. Yakimaru does get worried about the safety of Dororo.
What's with that guy anyway? I don't need him. I'm gonna be the greatest thief in the world. I don't need a partner.
Have you played all the way through this? I just learned yesterday there was going to be a Trigun game from the same dev on the PS2, and I guess it got canceled. What a bummer. I feel like they could have done a great job. I mean, it probably would have been a lot like the Gungrave games.
Don't mess with me.
In fact, the coffin thing from Gungrave is just, what's his face? Wolfwood, right?
Your max health is gone up.
Didn't he have like a thing about coffins? I don't know, I watched Trigun when I was like 18, so...
Dororo punch.
It's a very different world.
Dororo uppercut.
It was like toward the end of my fascination with anime.
Dororo uppercut. Dororo punch. Your max health has gone up.
I still like the old like 80s stuff. But I don't really, it's been a while since I've really watched anything.
Your max health has gone up. Dororo punch.
Just a little girl beating up a bush.
Dororo punch. Dororo punch. Dororo punch.
She's so puny
Dororo punch. Dororo uppercut.
and yet mighty. Ooh, she just took down that Yeti like it was nothing. Let her run. The guy, okay, wait. I gotta get caught up here. I was distracted by Dororo's fancy moves. It's not long after it's revealed she is a girl. I can't even believe that was supposed to be a secret, but I guess they changed her design a lot. He gives her a sword and leaves. You haven't played to the end, but a friend of yours has. Gotcha. Yeah, that was like... Yeah, there was a coffin guy with... Yeah, I think it was Wolfwood. Oh, wait, here we go. How the manga differs from the game. The game starts in black and white, and you get back your eyes in the beginning. In the manga, Hyakimaru gets his eyes back in the end. After getting his eyes back, he finally notices that Dororo is a girl. Oh yeah, that happens super early. So wait, did they end the comic in color?
Following me this whole time?
No.
That would have been a cool touch.
I'm only after Hyakimaru.
Then what do you want?
I just wanted to warn you. Never go near Hyakimaru again. He will only bring doom upon you.
Doom? What the heck are you talking about?
I'll tell you. After he's dead.
There's no way you could defeat Hyaki.
He leaves you? And yet you still defend his honor?
Shut up, leave me alone.
Now. Calm yourself. I wanted to warn you because there was something similar about us.
I said leave me alone. onward.
It would have been a nice touch if they did the color thing for like when they released it, like in, you know, what do they call them, bunko, like the mini book form. If they added color for the end. She's just taking out golems left and right. No biggie.
Your max health has gone up. Your max health has gone up.
Alright. I guess I don't have to kill every single monster on the planet. Oh, but I might as well. Ooh. Some bullets for Hyaki. Oh. Whoa. Does she share a life bar with Hyaki? Like, are these max health ups applying to him? I feel like none of these are going to be useful on a rock. She discovers she's a girl. He discovers she's a girl and gives her his favorite sword as a parting gift. Like, you already know, we don't see him getting all the parts back in the manga. Yeah, you could tell us what happens, unless anyone else objects. I don't object. Alright. New strategy. Evade. Yo, this game is good. I like its features and traits.
Can't go any further. Looks like I gotta go through the mountains. Yeah.
That animation is so good. He promises to meet her again after getting all his parts back, but it takes 50 years. Shoot, I hope that's not what happens here. I guess you said it's not. Oh, these little platypuses? Oh, wait. I'm pretty sure that's, well, they don't have the right tail, but they're pretty close. I don't think I can hurt a platypus or anything of that ilk. They're so good. Look at their little bills. Aw. I'm just gonna let them be. You're free now, guys. Ooh. You I'll kill. Because you're not cute. And therefore, you don't deserve to live. Oh shit. Collateral platypus. It's a collatypus.
Don't mess with me. Your max health has gone up.
Guys, you get out of my way, I'll stop punching you. Alright. Oh god, have they increased the number? Oh, there's like little froggies too. That's what attacked me outside, isn't it? It just keeled over. It didn't even like get knocked back. It just keeled over dead from impact. Man, Doro's a badass. Beat up that frog. The game's ending is quite different than the manga. It's closer to Tezuka's original plans for the story. It's closer to Tezuka's original plan. That's great. So that, please don't spoil, because I want to be surprised. Some of these indoor environments are quite nice. If you hit circle, you get a little hint message. Dresser looks suspect. No, I can't push it if it's already in the corner. These are Resident Evil rules. Rock. Can I use my orb of light in some manner? Oh, maybe, who knows what dresser she meant. I don't think this game is smart enough to distinguish. I'm the world famous thief. Ah, can I just... Another not at all challenging block puzzle. God, that's better. There was this block puzzle in Psy Girls. I played that like sometime last year, and it was the worst block puzzle in history because on top of it just being really tedious in terms of execution, it required a lot of actual math, and you had to like, I don't remember how it worked, but it was like I had to bust out the pen and paper. I guess that makes it kind of a good block puzzle, but it was super tedious. The anime is also different from the manga and adapts Tezuka's plans in a different way, probably to leave it opening for a second season. See, this is what I don't like about TV. Always trying to leave it open for another season. I like a story that's like concise and you know that it was planned out and that it's done, you know? Like a movie. I like a movie. That's what I like. What the hell? This block puzzle has me stumped. Okay, wait, I can only... Okay, I can push it there, or I can push it to this end. Can I, like, punch these paper windows? Seems like this is the only place that I could push it. Unless there's, like, a pull button. Dororo kick. I am confused. And that used to be something I liked about anime, was that a lot of series were like one season and done. And so it felt like you get more of the elaboration on characters that you can't get in a 2-hour movie. But then it's still like concise, and they don't just let it like go on ad infinitum until it's not profitable anymore because it starts to suck. like every American TV show. So like, not every American TV show, but like the vast majority of them. I'm starting to feel like an idiot. Except for the starting part. Like Cowboy Bebop, I still love. Oh, whoa, now we're talking. Oh, this is cool. Oh, this is kind of new. I think everybody loves Cowboy Bebop. Whoa. Oh wow. Man, this is kind of cool. Oh, what a charming game. I feel very privileged to be able to experience this masterwork. Oh, I loved kicking that frog. I'm sorry. I like frogs in real life.
Don't mess with me. Don't mess with me.
Boom. Splat.
Don't mess with me.
The sound it makes when she kicks him is so good. It's like a little biff. Biff. Starting to feel like the Everfall. Or the opening of Eco. Well, anything with a spiral staircase.
Your max health has gone up.
Boom. Different from American comics, manga is authorial. Authorial. Single creator with a single vision, long stories are rare. That changes when it comes to TV. Yeah, I like that better. I like for there to be like one firm vision guiding the work, you know? Like, you should set out with a whole story to tell. I mean, you can do whatever you want, right? But like, to me, it's much more compelling knowing that the story has been thought out than that they're just winging it on the fly based on like, you know, what will make it continue to sell. And it's also just fatiguing, you know, trying to be like being strung along. That's why I kind of dropped it. Like, I was super into superhero stuff when I was a kid, and then by the time I was like, I don't know, like maybe 14, I was just like, who can keep up with all this? Like, it just keeps going in perpetuity. These characters are 80. And then it was like, when I became an adult and I was working with people that were all big into comics, I was like, they would recommend specific arcs, and that was like at least a way to like narrow it down and digest it a little bit. They'd be like, oh, don't, you know, check out this arc by this artist. And I'm like, okay, so there's like, for one arc they have a vision and like a unified art style. That I can get behind. But it's like, I gave up on TV probably when I was like close to that same age, but like a teenager anyway. And you know, like when I moved back to the States, Walking Dead had just come out, and like all my friends were into it, so I checked it out for like a couple seasons. I was like, yeah, that was pretty cool, but like, I don't want it to keep going. You know, it's like, I'm ready for this to like wrap up. And now, like, that show's still going, isn't it? I've gone from a young man to like middle-aged. Boom. More games should let you jump kick a gong. I don't love puzzles where you have to hit a switch and then quickly get to the thing or it resets. But maybe they do that in case you forgot or like didn't see what the switch did. Like if you flick the switch by accident and didn't see the door open, you'd just be wandering. Man, suddenly it's very puzzly. First I had to push those drawers.
Dororo punch!
Let's see. I think the blocks are basically laid out so that you can solve the puzzles without... Oh, yeah, these aren't even push blocks, are they? They are where they are. But what's the point of this one? Little bit suspect. Well, let's worry about it later. The original main characters are gone by this point. Yeah. Like, I can't do it. The only show I got really into in like the last 10 or 15 years was Louis, the Louis C.K. show, and now it's kind of like poisoned by the personal life stuff that has come out. I'm like, man, I mean, it's still a great show, but like, why? I think the reason I was able to get into that show is that it was... Every episode kind of stood on its own, and there wasn't really much of a sense of continuity. They're all like little, 30-minute films. This music is so suspenseful. It's in the middle here. Whoa! Some Gohan, as they say. Sweet, sweet Gohan. The dentist scene? You're talking about Louis? I don't remember the dentist scene. It's been a while now. The thing is, like, he played... I think... he came off as, like, a flawed but, like, introspective man. And you kind of took it... Like, you kind of took it on faith that, like... he wasn't as bad as he made himself like he was being self-deprecating. So when you find out that he was actually like basically sexually harassing people, it's like, well, you can't actually be a terrible person. Like, part of what worked about it was that it seemed like you were being self-deprecating and like the first to acknowledge your flaws, but that you were supposed to take it with a grain of salt because it was comedy. But now it's like, no, you're as bad as you say. Dentist scene with the banana. Doesn't ring a bell. Thing is, this is what happens, is you binge a show all at once, and then, like, it all kind of runs together. I mean, I probably binged it all in, like, Well, I guess I was watching it a year after each season came out because I was watching it on Netflix. So, whatever that was, I think it came to Netflix in like 2015, maybe 2014. Louis goes to the dentist, and under anesthesia, he dreams about the dentist forcing a banana on his mouth until he gags. Well, that's not necessarily a warning sign. I don't know what to make of that. Okay. Ah, what's happening? We got blocks. Aha! But to what end? He wakes up coughing on the dentist chair. Huh. Yeah, I don't remember that one. Interesting. Think we're getting somewhere now. Sweet. Okay, is that what I came for? Ice sword. And the dentist is clearly pulling back his trousers. Oh, I see. Gotcha. Yeah, that's your warning sign. Yeah, now I remember. That's like a dirty joke they would tell at summer camp. I went to a summer camp when I was like 10, and it was like it was just like a big cabin with all the boys, and then there was a separate cabin with all the girls. And the boys, they would just like, after lights out, they just lie in bed and like tell the dirtiest jokes they knew for like 2 hours. At 10 years old, that was like the dark side of health class. It's like I was learning a lot through these filthy jokes. Probably learning it in the worst way. Well, maybe not the worst way possible, but in a very bad way. Wait, I could have sworn there was an arrow on the map for a hot second there. Yeah, I see your point now. Whoa. Oh yeah, wait, what? No, I forget. Oh, am I gonna have to do these jumps? Why must I? Why must I be sad? Don't close, don't close. Okay, was that? Yeah, okay, that was that. I did the thing. That opens it back up, I presume. Chow down.
Whoa. Man, this is just creepy. I better get out of here. Huh?
Crap. And a mouthful of water. I almost
Let me
spit it out.
go, damn it!
Horrifying.
Yes, this face will do quite nicely.
What are you looking at?
I am taking you to see Legion.
Legion?
Yes, I am offering your face to him.
What?
After I take your face, you will pray at this temple until you die. Pray to the fiends. You won't be able to cry for help. You'll fit right in.
Yeah, I can see how someone would watch that scene and be deeply disturbed or disgusted. I think that I probably at the time wouldn't have, like when I saw it, I probably would have thought it was disturbing, but not have associated it with someone being a predator. You know, it's like, okay, someone's afraid of that happening and maybe paranoid of, and maybe there's like a little closet, like it's hinting at some kind of closeted. I mean, there's a lot of directions I might have taken it before I would have jumped to the conclusion that he's like, that he's the dentist, you know what I mean? But hindsight is 2020 and all that, especially in 2020. Ugh. If only I had that ice sword. Ugh. Shredded that Yeti. So didn't get the joke, how it was funny. I think it's just supposed to be the surprise association. Like, you see the... I don't even want to explain it. I think, like, you see the banana and you just think it's like a nonsensical dream that doesn't mean anything, and then you see the dentist with the pants and you connect the dots, and the surprise of it is supposed to be, ah ha ha, it was a sex thing. That's my guess. But oh man, I want to fight her. Cool. Let's get a look at your fabric. Look at that. Look at that obi. So ornate.
Don't think this is over.
Sorry, I had to put you down.
You'll never be able to beat me with those skills.
I asked you to help my brother, my only brother, and you killed him.
Dragon Brood was powerful, and your brother was strong, with or without the sword.
Give me back my brother.
Your brother's soul was consumed by a fiend, and if you continue down this path, you will lose yourself in darkness too. I want you to think
I'm
hard
gonna have to
about your life
rewatch
and
that
find a
scene
new
after
reason to
this.
live.
Yeah, I mean, it was a weird show for sure. Most of the time, I liked that. Whoa. It felt like, to me, it felt very fresh, like fresh humor, and it's sort of a bleak, sort of dark humor that matches my own sensibility, and I think that, he has a sort of how to describe it? Like, on the show at least, the writing exudes this sort of humble, nihilistic view that resonated with me, and which also I feel like conflicts with the what we now know about him, you know. Which is a bummer because it's not often that I encounter artists that really like resonate with me, you know, and that like it's just fucking annoying, really.
Save the game here. The demon aura is blocking my way.
Bah. You know, I do kind of like fighting with the sword more at this point, which might be good because presumably I'm going to lose the blade hands eventually. Yeah. Alright, I'm gonna take a quick break, check on something real quick, refresh my water. Back in about a minute or two. Okay, I'm back. Just let this capture device kick back into gear. There it goes. Oh.
Save the game here.
Watching old episodes of family-friendly sketch show called Studio C for the last few days. It was weird to find one or two jokes mentioning Bill Cosby. Yeah, things have changed a lot. It feels like, I feel like the way I feel now, like relative to the like mainstream culture, is how people used to feel when they were like 50, and I'm not 50. You know what I mean? Like, I feel like culture has shifted more in much less time than it used to. Oh, can I not? I can't go this way because I don't have that magic gem. Or the orb of light, or whatever it's called. Any fiends out here? And now I see stuff from when I was a kid, and I can't believe that was part of my lifetime, you know? We've been watching old episodes of Full House lately, because the news is so upsetting all the time that, like, we just wanted something, like, super wholesome and super nostalgic. So we've been watching, like, the entire Full House, and it's so, like, at times at
Demon
least, it
aura.
feels ancient.
I also sense a spirit, much like the troll.
Is there something the matter?
Hey, old man. Think I could stay here tonight?
I haven't much to offer, but stay if you please.
Thanks.
Please. I wouldn't eat him if I were you. You'll get an upset stomach. For he is the fiend slayer, Yakimaru.
What?
If you want fresh meat, eat the child I brought in earlier.
Child? Dororo!
Red cap. Alright, that was a good one. Could feel it. Whoa. Yeah, I mean, it's old, but I mean, I don't know. Actually, like, Full House, I gotta say, it's also a better show than I ever gave it credit when I was a kid. You know, because I had older brothers, and I sort of inherited their, like, cynicism when I was very little. And so, like, we used to watch that show to, like, make fun of it, because we thought it was so, like, corny and sappy, you know? But, like, actually, the writing is often quite clever, and the casting was really good, and the actors, like, did a good job of, like, they had this sort of, like sometimes it was obviously super sappy, and, like, Michelle was super scripted, but, like, there were other moments where it almost seemed like ad-libbed, or, like, the actors were almost, like, breaking character because they were, like, amused. And so it had these, like, moments of, like, sincerity that I think were what made people like the show so much. And I'm like, yeah, like, of course it is sappy, but, like, I mean, especially right now, I kind of welcome that. And, like, there's a little more to the show than I, like, acknowledged when I was just a shitty kid. It was like a shitty, cynical kid.
No new body parts. He must still be alive. Dororo!
Huh? Where am I?
Give me your face. Give me your face, so that you may suffer for eternity. The sound of pain and suffering gives me strength. Your
This guy looks like Freddy Krueger.
brings pleasure to the fiends. Your pain is our nourishment.
From my Brazilian point of view, Uncle Jesse was always cool. Uncle Joey, not so much. Yeah, I think that's universal.
I gotta get out of here!
Actually, we keep thinking about that. It's like, man, Uncle Jesse really has all of the positive traits. like, he's the cool guy. He's the best looking. He's often the funniest. He's certainly funnier than Joey. He's the comedian. And he often, like, solves the problem with the kids. When, like, especially in the first few seasons, there's a lot of moments where, like, Uncle Jesse is basically doing Danny's job for him as the dad, and, like, solving the central conflict and having the little pep talk with the girls. And he gets all the intros with Michelle. Like, almost every episode starts with him, like, doing something funny with Michelle, and it's like, I mean, they probably just kept using him because he was popular. But yeah, he's got, and he, I guess, I used to think he had no flaws. I used to say his only flaw was the mullet, and he got rid of it right away. But I guess he continues to be vain throughout the show. But it doesn't really affect anything. And yeah, Joey, I wasn't aware when I was a kid how, like, much of a, I don't know how to put it without sounding terrible, but, like, Joey's kind of a loser. You know, like, he gets the least, like the fewest storylines, and they're always the least consequential for anyone but Joey. He gets the fewest dates, and his comedy is not good. God damn it. Throw me a bone here. Yucky needs to get his wings back. Oh god. Uncle Jesse is the mom. Fuck, where's my first jump there? Must have bounced. Yeah, well, the thing about Joey is, like, it's not that his jokes even date the show. It's like all he ever talked about was stuff from, like, the 1950s. Or older. Like, he's obsessed with Popeye, like... Yeah, like, he's always doing Popeye and Bullwinkle. Did you have those in Brazil? I'm guessing you probably had Popeye. Bullwinkle is like this super Canadian cartoon that, like, wasn't even that well known in America, I don't think. At least not with kids my generation. Maybe with, like, people who grew up in the, like, 60s? I don't know. Fuck. Yeah, she, like, bounces a little. Like, weird physics on those things. Danny's a provider. For a long time, he's the only one in the house with a regular income. Yeah, that's true. Bullwinkle, you almost got it right. There's no C. Like, I only knew about Bullwinkle because my dad randomly bought a bunch of VHS tapes when I was a kid. I think, you know, like, he must have, like, watched it when he was in the army or something, but, like, he's like, yeah, it's Bullwinkle. I was like, what's Bullwinkle? He's like, it's this cartoon. And it's like, fucking... It's like a sketch comedy kind of thing where it's like there's like the main story, which is the moose and squirrel, and then there's like side stuff. Like, did you ever watch Animaniacs? Where there's like a few different cartoons per episode. It's like that. Oh. Man, this is brutal.
Man, what am I gonna do? Can't just go crying to Hyaki for help.
This game was developed by the same team that did Bujingai, which is also an awesome game that has some horrendous platforming.
Body parts. Well, I suppose I can contact Hyaki to let him know I found a body part.
A fiend! I found a fiend!
Dororo, are you okay? Where are you?
I'm at the waterfall!
Dororo, hang on. I'm coming for you. I can save the game here.
Go on. I feel like you're in the middle of making a point. Ah. Damn it.
Damn.
I don't know why isn't Bujingai available digitally. I see. What I mean is that I understand why this isn't. Yeah. Yeah, Bujingai, I mean, there might be some rights issues there because it uses Gact likeness and his voice. I feel like that's probably it. Didn't he... They must have had a Gact song in there too, right? Around that time, the time that game came out, I listened to Gact, and I still thought it was hilarious that they made a Gact game, and was shocked to discover how good it was. Like, the action is totally competent. Whoa. Oh man, okay. Yeah, I would guess it's an issue with his likeness, his voice, or his music. You know, in Japan they got Demento, which is, they call it here Haunting Ground. And we never got it here, and I wonder what the deal is, because that's an expensive game to track down. Those are the ones I wonder about. The ones that come out in like their primary region, but not elsewhere. People told us no to Mega Man Legends and Tron Bonne for years, and then finally it was just like people looked into it a little more, and it like for some reason it just changed to a yes. You know, it took like 5 years. It was like the whole time that we were at Capcom, and I feel like sometimes people just don't have the time to like look into these things more thoroughly, so they're just like, well, there might be a problem, so it's not worth the time investment to like figure it out, which is probably true when you consider how little money these PS1 classics actually make. But it's cool they eventually did it.
To the darkness.
It's too bad, because that's the kind of thing that the community team could have been helping out with, you know? Like, that's a community win more than a business win, getting these games re-released. But they didn't, like, we didn't really have that kind of access until the very end. And then Brelston did get a bunch of stuff re-released. And then just as things were sort of starting to, like we were finding these little wins on the team, like they basically dissolved the team and pulled me onto Street Fighter, and well, we know how that played out. Street Fighter came out and was great.
Following me.
My only brother. He raised me by himself. I must do this for him. Hyakimaru, I must kill you.
Is this the path that you chose? Your brother is dead. You aren't. Don't let his sacrifice go to waste.
It is my choice.
Oh man, she just won't get off my back. Just because I killed her one blood relative. So Red Entertainment is still around. Did they do the latest Sakura Wars that just came out? I guess they probably did, huh? Whoa, look at this cool fight where like ice and frozen waterfall type thing. I'm so unthreatened by you that I'm admiring the scenery. That's what I'm getting at here. Look at her scamper. There's a lot of great scampering in this game. You're so cute. Slam dunk. Oh, they were acquired by Oizumi Corporation. Maybe they got to keep the name though, and exist as like a subsidiary.
No matter how many times you attack me, I will not kill you. You are no demon. I want you to think hard about what your life means to you.
You're soft, Yakimaru. And that will be your downfall.
No, you all kill. Latest game, Gungrave Gore, is scheduled for a 2020 release. Oh, cool. That's good to know. Well, thank you for tuning in. Always a pleasure. Pleasure is mine. I'll be back tomorrow. I'm going to shoot for 8 Eastern tomorrow, which is... I'm trying to make that the standard time. Sometimes things come up, but that's just my estimated window. Have yourself a good night till then. Man, that's cool. There's a new Gungrave coming. Ah.
I can save the game here. I can save the game. Game here.
Alright, I'm hoping for a chapter call soon. Failing that, next Fiend or other substantial plot point, and I'm gonna call it. It's getting late. Yeah, I tell you, I'm starting to really like using the sword better. Like, it's got pokes. It's got... that range is pretty important, I feel. And the sword arms are like, you just go flying all over the place. That spin move, it's pretty cool, but like, it often whiffs everything. Ah. Sounds like that. I still like the guns though. This environment is cool too. Pretty. Whoa. Well, here we go. This will be final fiend of the evening. Wow, this is cool one. You look like you have a chakra. Chakra? It was very picturesque. Whoa! Let's check my scrolls. It's been a while since I've used anything but lightning. Or fire. Wait, have I been... Haven't I been using the lightning? I thought I had. Let's try this tornado. Not that helpful. Whoa! Fancy fireworks. Whoa. Stay close, maybe. Unless he does that. Whoa. Maybe I'm supposed to interrupt the charge. Maybe? Grab. Hell yeah. My butt. Lats. Got my lats. Control shoulder movements and posture. Should probably work on those in real life too. Oh. Enhances attack power. I'll take it. All right. I think I'm going to call it there. That's all she wrote. That is Monday. Let me just get back to that save point. Yeah. Great. I've leveled up. I have back pain now. Sweet. Okay, well, that was a good one. Man, I'm already 10.5 hours in. This is a pretty long game. And chapter 5 of apparently 8. It's a chunky one. Okay, thank you so much for tuning in. Have yourself a lovely night, and I'll be back tomorrow, 8 p.m. Eastern. Give or take. If that changes, I'll tweet it. But until then, have a good one. Stay safe.